Bartail has been one of the persons who's watched all the shows. I talk to him on a regular basis in the EverQuest Next IRC channel.
What we saw with, Kunark for EQ2, you did those 400 quests, you did all the content, and at the end of it, the world wasn't changed.
Yeah, I'm Phantom X. I do social media and write articles for EQ Nexus.
For the Fall of Bastion, there was a very definite, okay, this is where your story is going to fit into the world.
Listen, fluffy looking bear, thank you. Listen, I went and I killed a dragon, and then 2 drops of whiskey hit my face, and I willed this manly beard into cow was raising, yes!
EverCast.
How's it going, everybody?
Hi, I'm EverKai, Kylest. Good to see you guys.
Hi, it's Flatus, and at Flatus, and I'm awesome, and we have a special guest today.
Yep. How's it going, folks? It's me, Legendary Neurotoxin, the guy who yells in cameras for SOE and various other things. Yeah, I was just doing Castles and Crab Shacks earlier, in fact. You might search hashtag Castles Crab Shacks and look up the cool stuff that I saw today.
Very cool stuff. Very, very cool stuff. I saw some of the tweets and the things that went out. They were very cool.
Got some amazing builders in Landmark.
Yeah.
Move along, move along. These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Yes! We can keep going all night with this. So easy.
Yes, I could.
It's a good thing those stormtroopers aren't issued printed orders that they can look back down at and be like, you know what? No, I'm pretty sure these are the droids.
Right?
Yeah.
Simple-minded stormtroopers.
They got to look at one picture once and that's it.
All they needed.
Yeah, I think it's just me that's having the mic problem, and I think it's because I not muted myself. I just turned myself way down. Woohoo! It's going to be a great show. So keep going. Talk about what you guys have been up to.
Well, okay, I'll start it off then. I was
guess
down
first.
At SOE for the H1Z1 impromptu 12-hour stream while the new membership system was going in. I had no idea this was going on, and I kind of had a meeting with someone else that day, but they kind of did their usual, like, not being good at communicating. So after long enough, I was like, screw it, this guy's not getting back to me. I am totally just going to SOE. I got there around 3 o'clock. I got to meet a few folks. Arrow was there. Senior Blanco was there. I got to meet up with a lot of the devs, talk a whole lot about H1Z1, yelled in the camera. That actually scared Clegg because he was walking up the hallway at the same time, and that whole thing is on tape, so you can find that out there. The I think it's H1Z1 scream. Other than that, I actually had the developers of procedural roguelike game Legend of Dungeon, the team Robot Loves Kitty, on my Procedural Powerhouses show yesterday, and they're just a couple of awesome people. If you like procedural roguelike games, especially local multiplayer ones, this is definitely one to check out. It is super, super, super fun.
I love roguelikes. I love them so much.
See, I've
Love
never.
them so much.
That's a game company I haven't heard of.
Yeah. I feel like a noob.
Oh no. What's your favorite roguelike, right? Like, what was your in the last like maybe year and a half, 2 years? What's come out that's kind of been interested for you for roguelikes?
Oh, I'll be honest right now. Of all the roguelikes out there, the one I am the most excited for is Binding of Isaac Rebirth. I am going to just crack out on that game like a beast. I'm probably going to do like a 12-hour or 24-hour marathon and just spoil it for everyone.
Oh.
Looking forward to that game.
I don't blame you. The first one was fantastic.
I think we did. Since I've been with Kai, I think I've done one 24-hour gaming session. But yeah, I
maybe since he married me.
No, isn't it only one? Has there been more than one? I don't think that I've ever just done like a serious. Oh, you know what? No, 2. My bad. So. I just get my foot out of my mouth.
And it's really funny considering what we were recently just talking about. So.
Oh boy.
No, we'll bring that up a little later.
I will go next. I've been searching for a job still. Not found anything yet. Well, I've applied for things and no one's called me yet. But still holding out hope. But if you're out there in the community, you know of anybody looking for somebody in the Florida area, I'm available. I need a job. But,
why didn't you just move to California and apply at SOE or something?
I could do that.
Yeah, there's hiring freeze right now for QA. They're just not hiring QA right now. They're full. I was told more or less check back when EverQuest Next is ramping up.
That would be the time to get in, especially since we've done this. I'm just kidding. Other than that,
shameless self-promotion.
Like a boss,
like a Sith,
like a Sith Lord. I am. But speaking of all things awesome and Flatus, we have the Helsing Army Guild over on Crushbone on EQ2, and we have been having a blast. It's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of laughs. I've been mentoring people, so I've been like lowering my level down to theirs and running the old dungeons because I have a level 85. I got one for free, and then we have Sunglare, who is an EQ2 veteran, who's showing us the ropes, kind of pop it in and tell me where to go do writs and do the heritage quest and level the guild, and it's been a lot of fun. And today, I don't know what the funny thing is, but should there be a funny thing?
No, not at all. I think I'm over it.
Oh boy.
You said
geez.
popping it in, and I don't know. My mind is in the gutter tonight. I don't know.
Sweet mercy. We're gonna get
trying to keep it professional here. I muted myself. I'm laughing at basically, that's what
everything. It's fine.
I'm so red. I look like Nogafin. What are you talking about? That was funny.
All right, I'm putting it out there to the community. Someone out there who's kind of building and doing stuff in game, I'm putting it out there. You've got 2 hours to build a mind and put a brain in it, so we can have a mind in a gutter.
All right, just mind in a gutter.
There you
go. Hashtag blame me 2014. Yeah. There we go. If anything goes wrong today,
put gutter with a brain in it.
Nope. But tonight since today's the last day for Double XP, I was online and I found a YouTuber who still streams EQ2 and gives tips and everything. He was like, go do the player created dungeons. They give you a ton of XP, which is true. But they don't, what he failed to kind of go over was that the player made dungeons scale with how many people you have in the dungeon. Oh, and then we were like, all right, so we went in there with a group of 5. We got wrecked. We went the first mob in, and we got it was 2 seconds in. I was like, I'm a tank. That was it. I was down. I was like, I'm out. I was level 85. I was like, oh my god. So we started going through the list, and I found this one was Rex XP extravaganza or something like that. This man is a troll. Like, he built this dungeon as a troll dungeon. Like, literally, there was no trolls in the dungeon. He trolled everybody going into this place. Because you get in there, and there's a first room, and there's a big pillar in front of you. Well, what he failed to do, what he successfully did, and fails to tell everybody, that there is 50 attackable, like 50 mobbed minstrels in that place, in that little box, and if you step 2 feet forward from the portal, it's a wave of monsters that come out of you from behind this wall. So there were 6 of us that went in there, and nobody knew. And when somebody stepped forward, and we were just, oh my god, what happened? We were all dead. We were all dead. And it was hilarious. We couldn't stop laughing because we had no idea what happened. So we went back in there and did it again, and then we realized that there was just a wave of monsters that would just come out there and not make you a happy person. I enjoyed it immensely. We had more, like, we got so much XP debt.
Awesome! That sounds like way to spend your double XP weekend. Going into experience debt.
Like, you know how we spent double XP weekend? We went into XP debt. We owe Sony XP. We eventually got into when we were able to do. I ended up getting 140,000 XP at the end of the dungeon. So it actually does pay off. So if you have time tonight, you know, after our show, I would say, because you still have till midnight Pacific Standard Time to get in there. So get in there, have some fun, and join us on Crushbone. Download EQ2. Hint, it's free to play. It's free. It's Crushbone. It's free. You can help level the guild. We're having a blast.
Now, is there a faction to it? Is it good, evil, neutral? Does it matter?
Guilds are faction free. You can be evil or good. You could want to see the world burn, or you could save the world from burning, and you could still be in the Helsing army. So we take all sorts, good or evil.
This is EQ2,
matter.
right, Flatus?
This is EQ2. This is EQ2. Yep.
Do you want to know what Kylest has in EQ2?
I want
on Crushbone.
Is it dangerous?
Is it an elf?
It's not an elf.
Is it the Sarlacc? Is it one of the gnome? Is it a gnome? Tinier than a gnome?
Gnomes can go to hell.
Oh,
it has wings.
Woo! Oh, you're I'm
the bad kind.
I was gonna say I can never remember their names.
RSI?
RSI, yep. Yeah. RSI.
Okay, I was like, is it a RSI or is it RSI?
It's the RSI.
Yes,
fantastic.
I have a Fae, and not only is she a Fae, but she's a level 85 Shadow Knight, and I made her as short as I was allowed to, and she's so badass because her name Frosted Wings.
Oh, it's amazing. We actually have 2 Fae in the group. We have a good Fae, we have an RSI, so we have a normal Fae, and we have an RSI. And we have an Erisai who's actually a Shadow Knight, so you would be welcome to come and join, and if you have free time to play, of course, just come in, everybody. Anybody's in chat that has that game, just download it. It's free to play, and it's a lot of fun. And we have, I have a TeamSpeak server. You can come hang out and chat with us, and hang out with us all week.
Kitty, she's being so cute. She's like, Faye, like me. Oh, a bad
one.
I'm a good one.
Yes, she is.
So, now that you guys can actually hear me, what have I been up to? It's the weirdest thing that like an hour or two, it was like 2 hours before the show, Chuena must have been taking a break from his homework because he tweeted out that he was, starting a new plot, and he posted a picture of it. And in that instant, all of a sudden, I've got all of this life and inspiration, like, I'm going to go build in Landmark again. So this is one of those rare times where I'm like, I can't wait to get done with the show and get home from work tomorrow to work on it a little bit. And I'm feeling inspired again. And I think that was one of my problems where I kind of like, Landmark, is because I was working on something. I kind of finished it to the extent of what I thought I could do. And I just, that inspiration burned out. And now like I got that fire burning again. I know what I want to do, and I know where I'm going to go do it. And so, yeah. And I was chatting with Powers before the show about it. And I'm super excited about it.
Nice. So what are you going to build?
All right. Here's my role player in me coming out. So Trina was building a village in the trees a little bit, and he had mentioned something to me about how it was going to be like an elf village, but not like an up in the trees elf village, kind of lower to the ground. These were the elves that weren't, like the absolutely reclusive elves that were in the forest. And the south border of his claim goes further into a forest as it goes up into this mountain range, right? And so I took my claim and I went deeper into that forest, up closer to where the mountain is at, and I put my claim there. And instead of doing like a horizontal claim, I went vertical, and I want to see how big I can make the trees, because my elves are going to be the ones that are going to be like, no, we're the recluses, we're up in the trees, stay the hell away. And I want to make the ground, I just want to get it so dense with trees that it's almost impossible to walk through. And that's pretty much the inspiration for it. And that's like why I tweeted right before the show. I tweeted out that like landmark problems. I have to cut down trees to plant more trees, because in order to make the tree prop, you have to cut down trees to get the wood to make the tree prop. So I thought that it was just kind of ironic that I have to cut down trees to make more trees.
It's kind of funny, but the conversion ratio on cutting down trees versus the amount of trees you can craft with it, isn't it like, pretty positive in your favor at that point?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the ratio of like how many trees I have to. Oh, you know what? That's actually might be my good deed of the day. I cut down 1 tree to make 6.
There you go.
So I'm gonna update people with what I've been up to. I am gearing up for SOE Live this year. I have picked out the costume that I'm going to construct. I'm picking out fabrics and designs and making my own pattern and sewing it myself. And I've been working just a tiny bit with Linda Carlson, aka Brass, to make sure that it's good, that it's really good, because she is, after all, my consulting dwarf. And then I've been taking orders on dragons, because sometime at the end of May or maybe the end of June, I'm going to quit making dragons and take an extended leave. So if you really want a dragon, you're probably going to have to get a hold of me soon, because then come, like I said, end of May, maybe end of June, I'm going to stop making them for a while, because then I'm going to try to make a couple of not ordered ones to bring to SOE Live, and I'm actually done for the rest of the year, because they're a huge pain and I love making them, but they're really like 10 to 15 hours of work each. So yeah, I'll be taking a break. I'm going to make a bunch and take them to SOE Live. But if you're interested in ordering one, just tweet me or direct message me over Twitter or over the Twitch thing at Kyle Est. I'll quit, shameless self-promotion.
Very
But
cool.
that's what I've been doing.
All right. And that lines us up for our EverCast news. Obviously, as you saw that we tweeted out, Chuena has finals this week, and he's studying for his final classes so that he can graduate. And so he's not here tonight. But like I said, I saw him in Landmark 3 hours ago. I don't know what that is. I think he was just taking a break. I don't want to out him too bad, because that guy, he works so hard with school and his interning and his job in the EverCast show. So, hey, Chuena, Chad, if you're watching, good luck. We're proud of you here. But that's not our only absence. Our other absence is Calbor. Calbor. I can never get that accent. Cal, right.
Cal 9000.
It was pretty obvious from his accent. He's European, which means it's the middle of the night for him. And he had real life health concerns, real life work concerns. And so he's not off the show. He's welcome to come back anytime he wants. He's just saying that, like, hey, I've got more important things to do, and he's focusing on those, and more power to him. We wish him the best. So that's it for our 2 absences. The other news is that if you are into counting down things like I am, 102 days to SOE Live.
Hooray! I'm gonna be there.
I of course like Kailas and Tanlin, Kailas and myself. I don't normally speak of myself in the third person, but we lived closer to Vegas than just about anybody else that I know that isn't living in Vegas. You can't really get much closer without being in Vegas, because between where I live and where Vegas is, there's nothing but desert. So yeah. So Kai, is there a bit of a controversy about the pool party? I mean, you're the one who had the, what's the scoop?
I haven't been on the forums in the last couple of days, but I'm gonna pull it up really super quick. But they released maybe like a little bit of the lineup for SOE Live, and I'm trying to make sure that the schedule that I'm gonna say is like accurate. But the last one that I was reading didn't actually list the pool party.
No pool party.
So I am working on pulling that up right now, to see if there is,
Well, from what I saw, because I kind of looked into it too after you had brought it up, is that they were looking at like what options they were having available. It's not that to say that they're not going to have some sort of Friday night party. It's just that the pool party might not be on the agenda. So is that news? Is that worth talking about? What did you guys think? I mean, the pool party for me was probably one of my highlights for the weekend, other than the reveal and everything and the other.
No, I had the most fun at the pool party. Seriously, I really did.
Not at the EverQuest Next and Landmark reveal, but at the pool party.
Oh no, it's a pool party.
Right. Okay, so let me just be super blunt. When I went to SOE Live last year, I had only excruciatingly briefly played Galaxies and came in at the bitter ends. Like, I came in just a few weeks before the NGE and then left not that long after. I remember playing back before Jedi were even something that you could make until you went through like a big thing. And it was like, oh, if I can't have a Jedi, I don't want to play. Seriously, that was the initial reaction. And then it was the only other SOE game at that point that I had consciously played, knowing it was an SOE game, was Vanguard. And if you're used to having your hand held in an MMO, like
Vanguard, not the game.
You go play Vanguard. The game is really, really immensely different, and it's really hard to get used to the XP debt and real, genuine corpse runs. So I sort of hated the game for a little while. It was definitely a love-hate relationship. So when I went to SOE Live, I knew a couple of the faces, and I kind of liked stuff. But it wasn't until I got to SOE Live and started talking to the devs and started talking to those people that I really kind of got amped up about it. It was because of SOE Live that I am now excited about the games as I am now.
Okey-dokey. I getcha.
All right. But yeah, we're all pretty excited about SOE Live. Of course, if you tune into the EverCast show, when news comes out about SOE Lives, we are of course going to keep you up to date during the ECAST news segment. And I think that's about it for the ECAST news. And what's up?
So last year they had panels, just a couple of them on Sunday. They did the Brev Dunch, the Dev Brunch, and then they did a couple of panels after the Dev Brunch, just like 2 or 3, I think, if I remember correctly. And Ashley,
at the end of the day at 1 to 2 p.m.
Right.
And the only one going after that was Brass's the metalworking class.
Right. Somebody mentioned, hey, this is my first SOE Live, and this is on the forums, the official SOE forums. It said, hey, it's going to be my first SOE Live. Do I stay Sunday night or do I leave Sunday? And so a couple of people chimed in and said, hey, just leave Sunday, just leave as late as you can. And then a couple of other people were like, you just should stay Sunday night and not travel on Sunday and leave Monday and give yourself some time to, relax and wind down. And Ashleen, I believe... the Wonder Woman, she has a little icon. Her picture is Wonder Woman. She chimed in and said something to the effect of, and I can't directly quote it because I can't find it right now, that they're planning on having a pretty full schedule for panels on Sunday. Excites! Much Sony.
From what I remember, it's going to be at least until 3 o'clock scheduling panels, potentially later, because it seemed like it worked last year. Some people left early, some people didn't, but having stacking all the panels and stuff towards the end, it works really well because it gives a lot of extra time that isn't overlapping with much of anything else.
I learned my lesson last SOE Live. If you're driving, there's no way I'm ever leaving on a Sunday night again.
It should have been a 3 to 4 hour drive back to our house. It ended up being 12.
Same here. Mine's, just past Los Angeles, so yeah.
Ugh.
So it's really funny. We left SOE Live to drive all the way into San Diego to drive all the way back to our house.
Ouch.
Good times.
It was rough.
Okay.
Definitely no buenos.
It was definitely more like 8 to 10 range for me, not a full on 12.
So last year, since it was the first time I had gone to SOE Live and it was in Vegas, I was like, I don't really want to bring my teenage son to this the first time around. So I took him to my sister's house and let him, and he, I gave him a choice, and he's like, no, I'd rather hang out with my auntie and my cousins and, have people to hang out with than go to Vegas with your gamer friends. Even though he's a gamer, he's a console gamer.
There. When I take offense to this.
Oh, he likes you guys now. Now that he knows who you guys are, but he didn't really want to go last year. He was like, yeah, whatever.
Old man Flanders is not cool to the hip kids.
Really, what it was is that he's like, I can't have my own hotel room. I have to share a hotel room with my mom. Are you kidding me? That's really what it was.
Well, and Vegas goes from if you're under, let's say 8, and you bring your kids, it's like they're not seeing, horrible things. It's not the debauchery that is Vegas that it's known for. But then they hit those preteens,
bring a 13-year-old boy.
That's
coolest mom ever.
That's pretty awesome, though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just saying. Listen. My mom would have brought me to Comic-Con when I was 13, I would have flipped. They're like, you're the coolest.
I wasn't even allowed to watch The Simpsons. Not even remotely kidding.
My mom would watch Beavis and Butthead with me, so she's got cool points. Yeah.
Well, what Beavis and Butthead are we talking about here? Are we talking about the old Liquid Television on the what was it? Tracy Olsen show? Is that that was The Simpsons that started?
The Simpsons. No, MTV, Beavis and Butthead.
That was Liquid Television, though.
Yeah, it was it was Liquid Television. MTV's Liquid Television. Yeah.
See, I don't know. A lot of those shows were I don't know. Maybe I'm just old, and it was it was old back in the day. Before it went all mainstream. But yeah.
Yeah, right.
We were shopping at Hot Topic before Hot Topic was cool.
All right.
Hot Topic was never really that cool.
Fuck you.
Anyway, let's get roll this right
on Flux next. Let's go back to old shows.
And Flux was awful.
You didn't like it?
Look at my favorite Liquid Television is my favorite short animes of all time. It's called The Running Man. If you want to do yourself a favor, look it up. MTV Liquid Television.
Not the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
No. It's just called The Running Man. Anyway, community. And it's funny that we were talking about SOE Live because SOE Live is one of those big conventions that developers put on that are, to help, connect players with the games that they're playing. And it's just so, that we're talking about it now. And EVE Online just wrapped up their Fan Fest this weekend. And between our last show and this current show, Blizzard finally announced the ticket pricing for BlizzCon. And so, we just thought we'd talk a little bit about, like, have you been to these other conventions? Write about it in the chat. What was your experience like? Do you think that this is, good for the gaming community? Do you think it's bad? And, I've only been to SOE Live. I had a great time. It really sold me on not just that I'm playing, there's all these other types of games I could be playing, but SOE Live convinced me that playing because of the people that you're playing with is more important than the game you're playing. I will play SOE games for the community long after I stop playing other games, simply because of that community. I did stop. Well, you guys can jump right on in.
Yeah. 200 for BlizzCon is crazy, is what Zube says. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, Blizzard's a kind of an interesting company because they don't really set up like giant booths at E3 or Game Developers Conference or anything like that. They aren't really big on that. They're big on BlizzCon being their big place to feature everything. They'll definitely be at all of the events. They'll have their employees walking around. They'll have, exclusive giveaway items sometimes. But for the most part, they almost like hold off on everything until BlizzCon. And, for better or for worse, if that's part of their business plan is to, try to have BlizzCon be something that it's a big marketing thing as well as a big thing for players. I honestly don't know if BlizzCon is something they actually make money on. SOE says year after year they don't actually make money on SOE Live. And yeah, I could see, like, with all the giveaway checks and everything that they're doing for the event, that's maybe, some amount of that would make a difference with it, or maybe not. I don't really know. But they're not really looking to make money. They're looking to, do something to entertain us. And sometimes they'll reveal things there they don't reveal elsewhere, or sometimes it's, something that's already in progress that we finally get to see a little bit more of than we had seen before.
And I'll jump real quick and hop on with what Neuro's saying. I believe that every time any company does something like their own event, like an SOE Live or a BlizzCon, they take a hit. They don't make money off of us. And that's something I think a lot of communities or a lot of the players don't know. It's like, oh, it's $200, but Blizzard makes all this money. Or it's $160 for SOE, but SOE makes all this money. It doesn't work that way. They take a hit. I mean, when you pay for BlizzCon tickets, $200, but you get a ticket to the show. You're getting access to all the news that they're gonna give that's exclusive to that show. Granted, some of that gets leaked like a week prior. It happens. Yeah. But you go there. I mean, think about, really, at the end of the day, think about why you're going there. You're going there to meet your guild that you've been playing the game with for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years. You finally saved up enough money to go do that and meet those people and hang out with them and at a place, at a game, in a community that you've grown in for the last few years, whether it be SOE with their games and EQ or DCUO or Landmark, whatever the game is. We're all part of this community, and we're all there. Like, if it's $200, like, I know it's still a lot of money, but if it's $200 to go out there, you're still getting, like, for us, let's say SOE, you're getting the grab bag, you're getting the meal, you're getting to sit down at a table with your peers and people who all are sitting there to kind of listen to all this news together. You get to hang out and drink and party and talk and hug and handshake and take pictures and memories. Like, how can you put a price on a memory? Like
yeah.
At the end of the day, I mean, like, isn't that what it's all about? It's having fun.
Yeah. So my complaint about Blizzard, the BlizzCon specifically, isn't the prices. It's the way that they do the tickets, and I really don't like it. I mean, we've tried to get tickets to it before, and the way they handle their ticket sales is pretty not fair. I don't like it. I think it's wrong.
I agree with that too, because like it's pretty much like if I'm ahead of you, I can get up to I think 5 or 6 tickets,
And
or
then you
even
just
more than that. So I can actually scalp tickets. If I have like a group of people like waiting in line, I can scalp a bunch of tickets and sell them on eBay for 3 times, 4 times the amount,
yeah,
which
and
really sucks.
that and right, and hopefully SOE. I mean, kind of like one of those like double-edged swords. On one hand, they're selling out SOE Live, which probably good for them. On the other hand, it's like all of a sudden now you have the prospect of it selling out and not being able to have people that would really like to go be able to get there. And that's my experience with BlizzCon. The one time that I wanted to go and I had the money to go, I was 5 seconds late to get into the queue to buy the tickets, and they sold out. And you know what, though, I've also I grew up going to concerts all the time. I've been to Burning Man a couple of times, and Burning Man sells out their tickets, and that's you have 75,000 people trying to go to an event that caters to 60,000, and it sucks when you just can't go. And there's no easy way around it.
How much are tickets to Burning Man again?
300 or 400.
And you get a swag bag?
No.
Do you get news?
Well,
do you besides, so we clearly can't put a price tag on memories.
But at Burning Man, you also get free concerts. If you hook up with the right people, you get I'm going to say experiences, and I'm not talking about.
I was waiting for the peyote to come out.
It's You could put it like that, but no, I'm not even talking illicit experiences. But we could go down that trail if you want, because Burning Man is an experience that I think that everybody should look into it at least once. The people
if you want to go hang out with a bunch of hippies in the playa dust and naked girl. Oh wait. There's a downside to that.
You're telling me I can like go out to the desert, take peyote, and see naked people
all day long.
Well then,
I have to. Maybe this will reveal a side of me that you weren't expecting. But I used to have one rule. I'm in the military, or I was in the military. I was a Marine. Like, seeing men in the shower is something that you just have to get over, because there's no way to avoid it. When you're on a ship with like 500 other guys, you just stop giving a crap. But I had one rule, and that is, I don't care what they're wearing, but I'm not touching them if they're not wearing clothes. Okay. Seems like a sensible rule, right? So there I am.
Live by, honestly.
there I am at Burning Man, and Burning Man. Everybody has a bike, because it's miles long city, and everybody has a bike so that you can get from one end of the city to the next. And my chain pops off my bike. It breaks, and I can't fix it. So I'm there, and I'm fuddling around with it, and I start walking in it. And some guy stops, and he helps me. And he's got like the whole toolkit on his bike, like pop the chain, link it back up, put that chain back on the sprocket. I'm ready to go. Of course, he's doing this all completely naked. And he reaches out to shake my hand as he's leaving. And it was like that moment of no, Wizzy, because that was, again, this is about hey, I have to respect the guy. He didn't have to do that for me. I shook his hand. I didn't care. Like, rules go out the window. And like, thanks, man. Thanks for helping me out. I appreciate it.
There's a level of chivalry. Like, that goes beyond clothes, where you are just like, I will help a man fix his bike chain nude. That's the type
I have to say, though, like, this on the going to this from SOE Live to handshakes with naked people.
Welcome to EverCast.
Generally, that's not what SOE Live is about. Just
In Vegas, have you seen what most of those girls don't wear? And I'm not talking about the people at SOE Live specifically. I'm talking about the people that are working at the casino. Like, there was this one night, and a bunch of girls in fucking go-go boots, and I'm not even kidding. They are wearing panties, garter belts, thigh-high stockings, like the ripped up, really kind of gritty, edgy looking, like fishnets and lace things, and then freaking knee to thigh-high black leather boots, heels like sky freaking high, and then on top, just the little red tops, just enough to cover the nipples. We're not talking about full bulb coverage, just a little bit of that, right? And they come out with tambourines and whistles, and they start parading around the floor that we're all on, a bunch of gamers. And they come out of the hallway and start walking in a circle, blowing their whistles, banging on their tambourines while they're blaring loud music. And they go down. And they go down the escalator and onto the main gaming floor. And then they all climb up on gaming tables and dance.
Perfect for a 14-year-old.
You know it.
That's why he's staying home this year too.
All right.
I'm sad I can't go.
I would also like to add that I have never been to Burning Man.
I was trying to get us back on topic and just say, like, speaking of BlizzCon,
Stay on topic. Stay on topic.
That it's not that it's also no. I mean, BlizzCon, they've announced their last 3 expansions and revealed them at BlizzCon, the last 3, expansions. So again, this is like, I'm looking at Arena.net and Guild Wars 2 and like Treon, when they have Rift and they have Arcade coming out, they're going to be the publisher for that. And Defiance, connecting with the Sci-Fi Channel and that first-person shooter MMO, it's like, shouldn't these game companies like try and get connect with their fans a little bit and try and capture that moment? Because as far as I know, like there are people that are flying to Iceland to go to EVE Online Fan Fest, and last year, CCP Games, they revealed their Valkyrie, which is their virtual reality game, where you're basically in the cockpit of a fighter in space, but you have the VR goggles. And this year, they announced that their first-person shooter is not directly being ported into a PC game, but it's sort of like they're like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? What do you guys think? That sort of deal. I think they're calling it Legion. So yeah, again, we're talking about the community and how game developing companies can connect with that community spirit. What do you guys think? Do you think that it's a mistake? Now, we've talked about BlizzCon and how it's successful and SOE Live and it's successful. Do you think it's a mistake for, Treon and Arena.net to not do it on their own?
Well, it's a risk assessment sort of thing, in a big way, and it's really hard to take that step because on paper it's a tangible loss of money, but it's hard to put that in the finite. How much does that improve our community and enhance things and make us better as a whole for the next year until we're expected to do it again?
Well, see, and I think Blizzard's smart. Like the 1 year that they didn't have one, they're like, "Oh, we're too busy. We can't do one." But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that they're like, we don't actually have an expansion to announce on any of our games, so why don't we just take this year off? Do you think that actually, like maybe the game developing like Arena.net, they don't have anything big coming out for Guild Wars 2, so hey, we're not going to do one next year, or we're not going to do one for this year, but next year, hey, we're going to do this next year.
It would be interesting because, who's to say that BlizzCon's going to happen next year? You never know with Blizzard. They're very much to say if they have no news, like it kind of saves them money for not doing one. Mm-hmm. So
I think at this point, Hearthstone is going to be one of their big leverage points for getting people in one place at one time for tournaments and stuff, because that's going to be a big deal. Just
Heroes of the Storm.
If they did Hearthstone tournament as like one day of the entire event, and it was like a special ticket price and like guaranteed prizes and all of that stuff, you could absolutely guarantee that would sell out. It would be a big old huge deal.
But then you kind of run into the deal where they have that exclusive, because everybody would want to watch, like everybody like that on Twitch would want to watch that because that would be such a big event to watch.
Right, and that's why I kind of whispered into my microphone that Heroes of the Storm, they're pushing their own Dota, Defense of the Ancient. It's going to be their competition with League of Legends and Dota 2, and that's going to be their whatever type of game that is, and that's like huge on the competitive esports scene. And so maybe they don't have to rely on their Warcraft, to get people to come to BlizzCon. Maybe they'd be like, hey. But
I'm not bitter about that at all.
No.
but the thing is, like, they still charge like $50 for the like direct TV pass so you can watch on stream online. But that's the only way you would see it. Like, would they allow, like, all right, we'll stream the tournaments on Twitch, or will they say the only way you'll see the tournaments is the $50 watch online?
No, I try to get us away from talking about BlizzCon so much, but
I know. Sorry.
But you can watch the tournaments for free on Twitch. I do on a regular basis because I'm a huge esport guy, and that's what I do.
Because I watch StarCraft tournaments. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I think we're getting back to, like, I don't think ArenaNet and Guild Wars 2, I don't think that they could do it, because even with Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2, I don't think that they have enough substance. But I think that, and then I'm looking at, like, Treon with ArcAge. ArcAge is going to be a pretty significant MMO because it's pretty big over in the Asian market, Korea, and they're importing it, and then they have like Rift and Defiant, so they've got like some things to talk about that aren't just that one IP. So yeah, I do.
Okay. I'm sorry, this is one kind of tangent on the idea of ArcAge that I've just kind of been thinking about here for a moment. In most Asian markets, the way you log in and set up your account for games, you're basically using your social security number. So that way, if somebody's actually cheating, it's, they're hacking with something that connects to their public record and their identity. So that's one of their ways that they kind of curtail cheating out there. Out here, if a U.S. company tried to ask for people's social security numbers to sign up for a game, they would be politically attacked until going under for it. Not even if they had a good game. So I'm wondering, how much of community is going to be a really big deal with ArcAge in making sure to mitigate cheaters and players who are, doing things in abusive ways, gold farmers, and all the other kind of elements that come with the I guess drop in security going from having to sign up with the social security number to US and kind of normal global sign up where you don't have to put in that kind of information.
Yeah, I did not know about that particular information, but the moment an MMO game company asks for my social security number, I'm out.
They can go to hell.
I mean, seriously, like you have, like, my credit card information already attaches like real life tangible information about me. If you can't track me down through my credit record, you don't have a business being a business in my estimation. Like you can go, I mean, you've got my credit information. You can just be like, okay, where did he live? Where did he work? All of it's available with that. And yeah, I'm not giving, I mean, call me paranoid, but no.
Paranoid.
But yeah, it's
but I agree, I wouldn't do it either.
And that's the thing, is like, I wonder, that's it's a different subject for SOEs, because they're coming from not having that extra layer of security on their games. They have to be tight with their security on all their products regardless. Now, I'm not saying that Trion isn't with all of their other global games that aren't just in the Asian market. But every popular game is always a big target for hackers, because they sell their cheats and they make apparently decent enough money off of it.
Yeah, it's funny though, is because like I have a key fob that my work gives me, so that when there's like there's a double authentic help me out here, Kai. Authenticity, like one is the number that's randomly generated on a key fob, and I'm gonna reach over.
He doesn't call it an authenticator. He calls it an authenticator, and it cracks me up.
I love that.
It's not an authenticator.
Hello, my Hello there, my authenticator.
No, I call it an authenticator or authenticator.
Authenticator.
Right. It's the Mega Man in me.
Metrocity.
Yeah. But anyway.
I'm so making him a Mega Man hoodie with like the blue lightning bolt across the front to make it look like the Mega Man costume.
Oh my god, Tanlin, we're gaming bros for life.
Oh no, he's totally Mega Man.
Me too!
Mega Man. It's so funny. And you know what cracks me up the most? He will occasionally quote Frozone. I'm so like outing him right now. So we kind of love cartoons occasionally. Like there is
so happy
a
right
rare
now.
occasion where out of absolute. I said Mega Man. I meant Mega Mind. My apologies.
I meant a Mega Man fan. Still though.
So you want to hear the really funny thing? Is that occasionally he'll quote Frozone from The Incredibles, and I'll be in the kitchen doing God knows what, and all I can hear is "Woman, where is my super suits?" My response, of course, is, "You don't need your super suits. Where is my super suit?"
Again, now I just want to point out that the reason that I say something like that to her is when I've identified that I have said something that is sexist and or misogynist and or placing her in a part of the relationship where she is subservient to me, and is my way of acknowledging that I've caught myself at that moment. So I say it to alleviate the tension. And hey, Flatus, do you know what the difference is between a villain and a supervillain is?
Go ahead and just tell me.
Presentation.
Yes. I just wanted you to do it.
So, anyway, we were talking about there's no reason for a game company to ask for personal information from us when it is so easy to get like a phone app or a dongle where they have like that two-party authentication to get into their servers to keep people from stealing. I know SOE Life has it for some of their games, I believe. I'm not sure. I know WoW does, and Treon had their like email verification where you log in, and if you try to sell certain things, they email you a code that you have to put into the game, and I thought that was really obnoxious. I'm all about account security. I just, you can secure my account and make it like an extra layer of security without asking for personal information about me. Or if you do want personal information about me, how about, my brother's middle name, my paternal grandfather, that type of stuff. Like, I don't know.
I agree. That's why they ask us like personal questions, like what's your classics, like what's your mom's maiden name and what elementary school did you go to?
We'll go on a tangent and be like, and that is why websites like Ancestry.com are dangerous.
So, Danlin, you're getting corrected in chat. It's Tryon, not Treon.
Yeah, it is Tryon.
It is.
So how long have I been going on and you guys haven't corrected me on this?
Hey, I'm your wife.
Tryon.
I would like to be able to sleep tonight.
Hey, just chalk it up there with metrocity and all those other things that I mispronounce. Anyway,
That's the stuff that air conditioners run on.
Isn't that Freon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just laugh at the joke and move on. So were we gonna talk about community a bit more here, or?
We normally take a break at about an hour mark. We take a 5-minute break. We come back and we do our after-hour segment. We have a whole bunch of more questions and talking points to talk about community that we haven't even started talking about. The big conventions was just the start because when I think about community, that's the first thing that jumps into my mind. But we got 5 minutes. Final thoughts before we go on our break. Anybody?
I was going to say real quick, with Tryon, I think the reason why Tryon doesn't do it is because they're so focused on, I think, maybe staying level even keeled and level afloat as a company, possibly. Because Rift, remember when they issued Rift was their very first game, and there was a lot of hype behind it, and they made money, but they went free to play. And since they went free to play, their free to play model is really nice because you get everything. You can do everything in that game, raid, everything's there for you, and nothing's really locked behind a wall for them. So it would be interesting with Archage, because Archage is supposed to be free to play as far as I know. So if they follow that same model, I would think that's fantastic, because I think that's a great model where everything's like, here, listen, you are not barred from anything, so have at it. And if they can make money enough to kind of do like their own like Tryon Worlds, live event, then power to them if they can do it.
Yeah. I would say some companies it just might not be a good idea. I think of like Zynga at their height. If they tried to do something, it would be a bunch of business people, and they'd be, San Francisco locals mostly. People who play Farmville and stuff, they don't really give two shits.
It'd be a bunch of stay-at-home moms.
Exactly. Yeah, it just wouldn't work. It would just be terrible. And likewise, for the longest time, Nexon had a horrendously toxic community. They did everything they could to make sure their address was never out there. Now, I visited multiple times, and every time I keep forgetting. It's like, oh yeah, they actually do have the company name listed on the building, even though they've told Google to have that totally blanked out. And for them, if they had a Nexon convention or something like, say, 3 years ago, I can guarantee someone would have gotten shanked or something. That community had some really, really toxic elements. So, not every company necessarily is in a position to have something like this and really have it even be something meaningful.
Yeah, there's always two sides to communities. I mean, it's inevitable. I think as internet popular people we are, or whatever, voices in the community and the shows we do, I think we're kind of, thankful and grateful for the people that show up, because they voice their opinions. They never come across to me as rude or try to be, jerks in any sense of the form. Like they support us and everything they do. They have their opinions. They agree or disagree with us. But they never go out of their way. Like, I've never seen anybody in chat, like in our chat at least, attack somebody else, because one, they would be out of here in an instant. I would never allow that. And two, everyone kind of is hugs or high fives. Hopefully not naked, because Tamlin's not into that. So
unless you're a member of the opposite sex, and then it might be okay.
All right.
That's not my wife.
That's
same rule applies.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, ladies.
You're there. I have a lot of questions that I have answers to.
I'm sorry, if some naked woman goes traipsing up to him and hugs him, what am I going to do? Stop her? Meh.
I will stop her.
Where are you going to put your hands, babe?
I don't have to put hands on them. I just have to run faster than them.
This is going to be the greatest 5-minute break ever.
Right.
I cannot wait for after show.
I'm going to be in so much trouble tonight. I just know it.
I can only imagine some twisted H1Z1 mod where it's trying to escape Vegas from a bunch of stripper zombies.
Oh god, you should see what Petipod just said. So, Naked Dave hugs for Tamlin at SOE Live.
Oh my lord.
There are going to be a lot of very happy women at SOE Live then.
That's what I was just about to say.
If traipsing around naked.
If Dave is
no ponytail, just the mane all down.
Evidently, Flatus is going to get in line for those hugs.
What? Oh, dude, I'll hug. Listen. Wait, who said that? Wait a minute. Was that just you, Tamlin, or were you just taking shots?
No, I'm sorry.
Naked or what? If you want to give me a hug, I'll take a hug. Just keep it, if you're going to hug me like that, just Maybe like a side hug or something. Let's keep it separated by like.
Boobs
You know
can't
what I'm
touch.
saying? Yeah.
I also dated
Oh
a
my
girl.
God,
I
you
also
have to
dated
say
a girl
that.
that was like that. That was
Listen.
that. Yeah, she would not hug another woman on the front.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like
the
we
boobs
do one of
couldn't
these,
touch.
maybe a fist bump. Camping.
Okay, who wants to give us permission to take a 5-minute break? Because I think we could probably use it.
We need a 5-minute break like now.
I think I'm gonna go take a cold shower. I think that's what's gonna happen. Neuro, would you like to camp us out of our first hour? Or not, you don't have to. I can camp us out. I'll camp us out. We are camping in 5, 4, 3, 2. Were you about to camp? I'm out.
Yes, my mic was off.
Pulled it down.
And 1. We will see you in 5.